Welcome back. Last week, I went over microphones briefly, but now I'd like to go more in depth on different microphone features. I want to walk you through how we turn acoustic energy into electrical energy, right here on Audio Architecture. I went ahead and opened up the mic locker at the Noiz Factory, and I want to share with you some of the things that I found. But first, let's break down what a microphone is all about. Microphones are used to capture sound, and just like our ears, they're one of the most important tools as an audio engineer. Microphones are transducers, which means they convert one form of energy into another, just like our ears, just like speakers. Audio engineers work with a lot of intangible tools, but think of microphones as a painter's color palette. Each choice of microphone is like the different stroke of a brush, adding color, tone, and texture to your track. Whichever microphone you choose will influence your sound. For example, whether a recording is bright or dark, muddy or clear, edgy or mellow. Choosing the right microphone is the first step in the recording process. Getting to know how a microphone captures a particular instrument or sound takes time and experience. There are a few things that differentiate microphones from one another. It's not all cost or aesthetics. There are many other factors when it comes to microphone selection. There are three main categories to consider. The first category I'd like to go over is frequency response. This refers to how well a particular mic is able to respond to all the sound that strikes it. In simple terms, the sound you get as a result of recording an instrument will either be brighter or darker than the original source, depending on the frequency response of that microphone. Some engineers refer to this as coloring the sound. Now that you've figured out your preferred frequency response, let's move on to category 2, directional characteristics. This is also referred to as a microphone's pickup or polar pattern. The directional characteristic of the microphone determines the direction from which the microphone will pick up sound. The polar pattern also determines how well the microphone is isolated. You'll find 5 main pickup patterns on any given microphone. Cardioid pickup patterns are the most common and are heart-shaped, hence the name. Most of the sound is rejected from the rear of this microphone, meaning it mainly picks up sound from the top or the front. They are used often in studio and live sound situations. Supercardioid has a pattern that is tighter than a cardioid pickup pattern. It rejects more from the sides, but it picks up a small amount from the rear. Hypercardioid is the tightest pickup pattern of all. It provides the most isolation for any instrument and excludes virtually the whole environment except for a small amount of sound from the rear. Bidirectional, or microphones with a figure 8 polar pattern, picks up sound from both the front and the back, and also rejects sound from the sides. A microphone with an omnidirectional polar pattern picks up sound pressure equally from all directions. It exhibits more environment in the sound and a flatter frequency response. Now that we know our directional characteristics, let's move on to our third and final category, transducer types. For the most part, you're going to find one of 3 transducer types on any given microphone. Now, dynamic microphones are built tough and can handle loud sound pressure levels. These mics are very rugged and are used for high volume sound sources such as amplifiers, drum kits, and horns. The general frequency response for a dynamic microphone is between 40 Hz and 15 kHz or 15,000 Hz. Condenser mics are the second type of transducer. They generally provide better sound clarity and have excellent transient response or frequency response. Therefore, these mics are great for reproducing higher frequencies and quieter sounds. Condenser microphones add air to the sound. Because the transducer is lighter, it reacts to weaker sounds or higher frequencies. Most of these condenser microphones require external power, called phantom power. Phantom power will supply a condenser microphone with the required charge. These mics are fragile. Unlike dynamic mics, hitting a condenser with a drumstick or dropping it could mean the end of that mic's life. These microphones often have a decibel pad. These dB pads are used to attenuate or affect the input that goes into a microphone. dB pads and phantom power can help identify a microphone as a condenser mic. There are a couple of types of condensers. You have small diaphragm condenser and large diaphragm condenser. Small diaphragm condensers are excellent for recording acoustic instruments such as piano or flute. Large diaphragm condensers are typically the best choice for recording vocals because they add presence and they help the sound sit in the right place. Large diaphragm condensers also exhibit better response to low frequencies and can fatten up a vocal or an instrument. For both types of condensers, the general frequency response is between 20 Hz and 20K, or 20,000 Hz. The last transducer type I'm going to go over today are called ribbon mics. They are often used to take the edge off of an instrument's tone and darken the sound to make it appear smoother. These microphones are great for recording the sound of a room, but are not meant for outdoor application, as these mics are extremely fragile. You'll see that the frequency response of a ribbon microphone lies between 40 Hz and 15 kHz, just like a dynamic microphone. The difference is, ribbon microphones excel in creating and providing a retro sound. Now I've chosen the best examples to show you so that you can see for yourself what kind of microphones you might find in any given studio. I'm beginning with the dynamic microphone section. The first microphone is the super common Shure SM57. Starting off, it's got this little case. Comes with a little clip. Everyone calls these things 57s, and they're extremely popular in the audio industry. They're actually one of the best-selling microphones in the world. Most of these kinds of dynamic microphones have a cardioid pickup pattern, just like this one. 57s are great instrument microphones designed to handle high-volume SPL. Great on amplifiers or amps, drums, and horns. You're going to see the 57's cousin commonly as well. This is the Shure SM58, and it is also a cardioid microphone. It's a dynamic microphone as well, and is really good on anything. Although this one is primarily used as a vocal mic, not an instrument mic like the 57. These two set the standard for multi-instrument and vocal recording live and in the studio. The next group of microphones that I'd like to talk about today are the Blue Encore series mics. In my opinion, the Blue Encore 100 series work as an alternative to the Shure SM series. They are the next step in quality in the dynamic section. The 100i has been the equivalent, and it is my alternative to the SM57. It's great on instruments and can handle high levels of SPL. The 100 has been the equivalent and is my alternative to the Shure SM58. This microphone is great on vocals and can also handle high levels of SPL. If you're looking for quality, both of these options won't disappoint. To recap on dynamic microphones, they're great for capturing sounds with high SPL. They don't require a power source to run, but these are not as suitable as condenser microphones for recording instruments with high frequencies and harmonics. That being said, let's go into condenser microphones. Condenser microphones come in lots of different shapes and sizes. There's small diaphragm condensers and large diaphragm condensers, but they both have a neutral sound and are often very high quality. Small diaphragm condensers are used more commonly on piano, acoustic guitar, and other stringed instruments. They also work well catching the cymbals or hi-hats on a drum set. Here we have two different types of small diaphragm condenser mics. I've got this Octava small diaphragm condenser microphone. It's an MK-012, and it actually comes with a screw-on decibel pad capsule as well as a special mic clip. You might be wondering what a screw-on decibel pad capsule is. If the sound we're trying to capture is too loud for this little condenser, just screw on the 10 dB pad capsule and it'll sound better with less distortion. A lot of the time you'll find dB pads as actual connected sections of the microphone, especially on condenser microphones like this one. But this dB pad comes with the set as an attachable add-on to the microphone, just like this custom mic clip. I'm gonna go ahead and add on the dB pad for you and put the top capsule on. It's pretty neat how they came with a detachable decibel pad. It's very unique. In the next set, we have a pair of ISK microphones that are also small diaphragm condensers. They have a few cool characteristics. Included are 3 interchangeable capsules for each microphone. This means we can change what kind of polar pattern it has depending on which capsule we use. This is the cardioid capsule, common on a condenser microphone. The supercardioid pickup capsule works great for isolation. This is a great example of a microphone set geared to attract the kind of producer that wants a customizable dynamic type or options when it comes to polar pattern. Ultimately, they want choices in digital characteristics. The last set with the Octava microphone was for an engineer that needed a tool that had reducible gain pickup for situations with high levels of SPL. If something is too loud, the decibel pad could come in handy. Just like if something needed extra isolation, the ISK microphones would be extra useful. In fact, the audio for this video was recorded on this particular microphone, an ISK Little Gem, equipped with this exact supercardioid capsule. The past 6 microphones I've talked about so far are available online for under $100. They're a great value, especially if you need a reliable microphone to start out with, or if you want to add something to your collection. However, if you're looking for an upgrade, you might want to take a look at the Blue Encore 300. It's a small diaphragm condenser that can replace your SM58. For the price, this mic outperforms others in the studio and on stage. It's a small diaphragm condenser, just like these two, but it's the most bang for your buck at $200. These come equipped with a mic clip and are great for studio and live performances. Moving on to large diaphragm condenser microphones. These mics often operate side address, as opposed to all the other mics we've gone over today, which have been top address, meaning you speak into it from the top and sound enters the transducer vertically. These large diaphragm condensers are set up so that sound is recorded horizontally through the microphone from the side. The first example I have here are a pair of blue baby bottles. Some of these models come with a built-in decibel pad as well as a high-pass filter. But these two come just as they are, with a custom mic clip and a microphone. Lots of the higher-end microphones come with accessories, gadgets, and gizmos that are designed for both the artist and the engineer. A popular trick used by microphone companies across the globe is to put multiple pickup patterns on a single unit for multiple applications and uses. The Blue Reactor comes with a custom pop filter and a low-profile shock mount. So you have everything you need, including 3 different types of polar patterns on this particular microphone. Cardioid, omnidirectional, and figure 8 or bidirectional are all available polar patterns on this microphone. This microphone is one of the best and most versatile buys for under $500, as well as the blue baby bottle. Sontronics takes it a step further with the Saturn microphone. They included a built-in pad with filter controls and added 2 other polar patterns. This is essentially a Swiss Army mic and is the pinnacle of what a multi-pattern microphone can be. We are still in the large diaphragm condenser section, and up next we have 2 very special microphones by Vanguard. This V13 is not only a large diaphragm multi-pattern condenser, it is also a tube-powered microphone, which automatically generates warmer sounding audio. The 3 polar patterns this microphone has to offer are selectable at the external power supply. It has omnidirectional, cardioid, and figure 8. It comes with a wooden box for the microphone, a custom mic clip, and a few custom cables designed specifically for the power supply. The cousin of the V13 is the V445. It is equally as special. It's called a stereo microphone, and this is the last one you'll ever have to reach for. It's designed to be a versatile, reliable, and professional tool, with a highly sought-after vintage stereo condenser sound. You can utilize less conventional stereo microphone techniques all with one microphone. You don't have to understand how to record using those techniques just yet. I'm saving recording techniques for a separate, in-depth video. This microphone also comes with a versatile splitter box or breakout box for different styles of recording. As well as the breakout box, it comes with a wooden box for the microphone itself, a few cables for the breakout box, and a custom mic clip. That sums up the large diaphragm condenser section. This is the Blue Woodpecker and is simply one of the most interesting and beautiful microphones you'll ever lay eyes or ears on. This is the only ribbon mic I want to show you today, and being a ribbon microphone, it is designed to provide a smooth and intimate sound. The woodpecker is as fragile as it is a precision-crafted recording tool. With only a figure-8 polar pattern, this mic is chosen for specific instances and has its own flavor. At a $1,000 price tag, this mic is unlike any other out there. Despite the lack of features, it can really surprise you how amazing it sounds. This is a Blue Encore 200, which is a dynamic condenser microphone. It's an active dynamic microphone. So this offers the luxury of capturing as much sound pressure level as you can dish out, but with the construct of a condenser. So it's got the great active dynamic capsule tuned for natural vocals and detailed clarity, but since it's a phantom powered condenser, it delivers consistent tone and minimal noise. Without microphones, audio recording wouldn't be possible. Finding the right one for you takes time, knowledge, and money because some of them aren't cheap. There are tons of types of microphones out there, and this is just a reference. So don't be afraid to test out different things. Next week, we'll go over how to record with these tools, and I'll show you different microphone techniques used in the audio recording industry to track different types of instruments. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Audio Architecture.